Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Pause with Elizabeth Elenor, and we're talking about crying. We're talking about crying. Are you a crier? Do you just allow the tears to come whenever they come, or are you someone that still suppresses that womanly energy that we have when we have tears? Because tears are just such a beautiful way of expressing, and we have been suppressed for so long and defined as, tears are weak, tears disempower, tears mean that you're emotional. Yeah, tears mean that we're too much, and it's time to stop that narrative, right? It's time for us to take up arms arms like this, and to shift this vibration that's on the planet, this belief system that somehow tears are not necessary, are unwarranted, or a sign of weakness. Because let's face it, we have grown up, all of us, I'm sure that there's not one woman on here that hasn't heard don't cry, or stop crying, and not being given the right to express that emotion, that frequency that happens when there's this welling up of energy that happens and wants to be released out of our body, right? I would love for you to share in the comments if you're a crier. If this is the first time you're watching me, hi, my name is Elizabeth Elenor, and I am the founder of Peacemaker Ascension Portal and this beautiful Facebook group, which, by the way, is at the moment Awakening Magical Woman, Choosing Conscious Relationships, and we're just about to change it. But we're going to park that for the moment while we talk about emotions and tears. So if you're watching this, I'd love for you to say hi in the comments and tell me, are you a crier? If you're watching this and it's after the fact, then please put hashtag replay so we can come in and say hi to you afterwards as well. So let's talk about tears. One of the things that I know about my existence is that I have been a crier for a very long time, and I did take that narrative on. I used to, believe that there was something wrong. I used to get so frustrated that when I was crying, I couldn't express, the tears would overwhelm me and I wouldn't be able to get the words out. And so I'd get angry sometimes. Sometimes I'd cry in anger because I was trying, I was frustrated. I was trying to get something out that was emotionally impacting me. Now, whether this be emotional impact because it was a suppression, there was something I was suppressing within, and it was a new memory or a new remembering, or whether it was that I was feeling deeply connected, right? I was feeling deeply deeply present to what was being experienced or said. I'm a crier when it comes to movies, right? So tears aren't just emotional releases, like these are energetic messengers. Like they actually signify the presence of our soul truth, right? So surfacing from beneath some sort of conditioned identity, something that, I tend to cry when I see a woman being strong, or a woman being powerful, or a woman acknowledging the pain and trauma that she's been through. I do it with men too, but I was just having a moment of a movie that we watched, and I can't even remember what it is now. But there was this moment of, acknowledging this woman's wound, and the collective womanhood within me feels it, feels that that wounding and that presence of the soul's truth, and it bubbles up and expresses through whatever's going on for me, right? So we cry like magical women, not just because we're sad, but because there's an alignment, right? There's the soul recognizing something. And so it could be like there's a sadness, but it also can be something that is a remembering, right? So tears, in my opinion, are sacred water codes. Now, each of us, like if you've been on this journey for a little while, spiritual journey, you would have heard of Dr. Emoto. I can't think of his first name. And the sacred codes, the water codes within water, like the sacred geometry. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, he was the very first one to, what he would do is he would put a drop of water on to a petri dish and close it up and freeze it really fast, and then look at it under a microscope, and that water would have a specific pattern, like a sacred geometry pattern to it. So each one had a different one. So for example, gratitude would have a different sacred geometry pattern in it to love, or to forgiveness, or to sadness, or to each different word has a particular imprint in water, because what we're 90 something percent water, right? And so each water code is held in this frequency, in the memory of water. And what he also did was he got things like, he showed that there was destructive codes within, water when he played it heavy metal, for example, or told it words like hate, for example. He also got words. He also got water, for example, from. He also got, someone just messaged me. He also got water from, what am I trying to say? Hiroshima, the water from Hiroshima, right? And saw that it was like, it was even colored and it was destructive. Like it was just like this messy, destructive, like there was no form to it, right? And what he discovered was when he started saying beautiful things to this water, then it would change form and create these sacred water codes. And so they would transform into sacred geometry and these beautiful, he could bring that memory back into the water, right? And so tears have this ability. I remember reading once a book, way back. What was it called? The Ringing Cedars of Russia. The Ringing Cedars of Russia. And it was a novel, and there was, the main character was a woman called Anastasia. And I remember that she was otherworldly, right? And she used to talk about when a tear comes down, you want to actually lick that tear and put it in your mouth, because it's almost like, what do you call that? I've just lost the word. Not naturopathy. Bark flower remedies. I can't think of it. Oh my gosh. It's like, I can't believe I can't think of it. I use it all the time. Bark flower remedies, where it's like a very small amount of the frequency is in the water, and so you can actually shift your vibration, and your body goes back into healing when you actually take that tear in. Homeopathy is the word I'm looking for. And so you can actually take those tears in And through those tears, the wounding that you might be experiencing or that might be coming up, you can use those tears as like a cellular release, right? So when a woman cries, often it's because she's speaking her truth, right? She's often breaking a silence that could have been held from lifetimes, like across timelines. It's actually this activation, and what it does is it can clear the throat and the heart. So tears are literally opening up blocked energy that of not being able to speak truth, or your heart where like giving love or compassion or vulnerability, right? So it's not a weakness. What tears are doing is it's cleansing. It's a cleansing of a static between the human self and the higher self. So tears are sacred. When we are crying, we have that connection to our spirit, but also our body. We're releasing information that's been stored for generations and generations, maybe even past lives, different timelines, and what we're doing is clearing that information. So when I'm crying, I know that I'm expressing and releasing and clearing something. So I allow those tears to come through because they're an expression of my soul giving to itself, giving back, releasing from the body, right? And so let me know in the comments if that's something, like write tears in the comments if you're ready to release and to give more to yourself, to actually be okay with your tears, because really when we're feeling like something unexplained, right, some sort of unexplained emotion, and that's another way that I cry sometimes. I have got to this point in my journey where I'm okay just to cry. And you know, Tim will say, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, my body is just crying. And I just say that, I just go, I don't know, but my body's just crying. Because sometimes my body wants to cry and then I work it out later what it is, and sometimes I don't, right? It's just the way it is. Allowing yourself to have that expression. So when you're letting that emotion out, you're accessing like a soul memory. You know, it can also happen when you meet someone that might be part of your soul group. You know, the other day I had one of my dear friends. She's like a sister to me. We were born on exactly the same day, but she's I think she's 9 years older than me. I think she's about 9 years older than me. And we haven't seen each other for like 8 years. And the other day, just by chance, her and her partner were driving through to Melbourne. And she messaged me on the day and said, we weren't expecting to, but we're stopping in at Kiama. Isn't that close to where you are? And we got the opportunity to see each other for the first time in ages. And so it was late at night. It was pouring down rain. It was bloody cold. I'd just been in Sydney all day, so I was quite tired, but not wanting to miss a chance just to have a moment with Aisha. Her name's Aisha. And we met in a pub, and as soon as we saw each other, we both just had tears, right? Like, we just had tears because we were reconnecting. Like this, you know, she's definitely part of my soul group. And so even just thinking about it brings up tears, right? Because it was a moment of joy. Who would have thought that here I am talking about tears and, you know, having that moment. So just allowing myself to have that moment of tears of reconnecting, of remembering, right? Like, just like as I talk, what's happening is I had the moment of being there and cuddling Aisha. And because I'm an empath, right, like I'm back in that moment. And look, there's a tear. I'm going to put it in my mouth. It's a bit salty. I love that. So going back into that moment, and these are the things that we've just allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to be in our innocence and to be our expressive energy. That's what makes us magical women, right? Is allowing ourselves to be ourselves and to express that energy. Because the more you do this, the more you're being in the moment, the more you're connected to everything around you. And now you're accessing information that needs to be, digested by you, or cleared by you, or just felt by you, aligned with all of those things. And this is what being an intuitive empath is all about, and being a magical woman. This is what we need more of in our life, and it's imperative, it's important for us to, in this time as the world is rushing and going crazy, and we don't know what's going on, and we're second guessing the information that we're hearing, and we don't know if something's real or unreal on social media, or what someone's is someone speaking the truth or not speaking the truth. It is crucial. This is not a luxury to be intuitive. It's a necessity in today's society. We are moving, like we're in the very start of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius that they sung about in the 60s. Like, we've just started the age of Aquarius, and it's around for like 19 years or something. This period of time is important and a necessity to know what's truth. And you can only know that when you allow yourself to let go of the walls, to let go of the I've got to protect myself from the world, and to soften that a bit. And to soften that means that you've got to allow those tears, right? Because they're often an Akashic retrieval, or they're a collapse of outdated identity timelines. And what you're doing is you're clearing that energy out of the way, or giving yourself access to your heart and your throat, and being able to speak your truth to yourself and others, right? So, crying can also mean that you're remembering who you are before programming, before trauma. Is actually often a collapse of the false self, and is making room for that alignment that I was just speaking about. So when we're in alignment with our body, when we're in alignment with our soul, our body and our soul, crying is truth resonating, right? And it's breaking through those layers of suppression, the layers of overwhelm. It's a healthy thing to do. It's portals to soul remembering. And our tears are the key that open the gate. So tell me about your tears. I want you to think about your tears, and whether you feel comfortable and safe to allow your tears to flow, allow your tears to come out, or do you still find yourself suppressing your tears, holding those emotions. When we hold those emotions, what happens is it gets stuck. You're now suppressing, you're going in and you're holding tight to your energetic field. And what happens is blocks happen, emotional blocks. And eventually, when you've got something that's happening on an energetic level, the more that happens, the way I describe it to people is it's like little tiny, the more you think and believe in a certain thing, that belief, for example, is using a belief, that belief is, it's weak to cry, and we've been, conditioned to believe that. The more we hold on to that belief, and that belief comes in, it keeps coming in. Now it's, like it's here in the ethers, and then these little tiny particles, they all clump together like you see atoms, right? They all clump together, and then they eventually become a weight. They weigh down, and the more that clumps, the weightier it becomes, and it eventually moves into the third dimension, where that weight is now a physical experience. And so you have a belief that crying is for those that are weak, or that it's wrong to cry or to show your emotion or whatever it might be. Now you're suppressing yourself. And ladies, no more suppressing. We are here as magical women to open up to our birthright. If you're here as a woman, generally that means that you've had many lives of being a woman prior to this one, right? We come in spurts, right? Male, female, lives, right? And so women have the power to create life, right? Yes, we need a seed, but that seed then gets nurtured within our womb, and we have the ability to create, and we are really powerful creators. Intuitively, we are strong. What's going on in the planet right now is we need more magical women to wake up to how powerful and strong they are, and to stop putting up with the bullshit. We need to stop putting up with the old ways that suppressed us. We are here for more than that. We are here to stand strong for our men. We are here to stand strong for our babies. We are here to stand strong for our society and our community. And we've got memories of when we've done that before, and we were suppressed, and we were victimized, and we were wounded, and all of those things. So that's in our cellular memory. But we have the ability at this level of consciousness, in the age of Aquarius, we have the ability to recode that, to clear those patterns out of the way, and to release all of that weight from the past, so that we are here as a high vibrational being that's here to just create with a clean slate. And so that's where we're at, and that's what we're here for. So one of the things that we're doing, I personally have been on a journey, and you will see it here in this Facebook group. So if you're seeing this in your thread, jump into our Facebook group and check out some of the stuff that we've been putting in here. We're about to change the name, because one of the things that I do is I love patterns, but I also am aware that patterns need to evolve and to break sometimes. So I have been moving and evolving myself in the last 18 months, and did a deep dive into relationships, and then recognized that I am here for way more than just you meeting the love of your life, or getting rid of old hurts with ex-partners. You're here, the ultimate truth, and being completely transparent. What I am here to do is to support you to really tune into your intuition. that is one of the crucial things that's needed in society right now, is women to be strong and intuitive, and to be releasing all the stuff that's held us back, so that we can speak our truth and take action and create this beautiful planet that we have the ability to create, that is here in our vibrational escrow, right? If you're a Abraham Hicks woman, right, in our vibrational escrow we have, or our vortex, we have this amazing planet just on the cusp. We are just on the cusp, and so it's important. Tears are important. Allow your tears to flow. So I would love for you to keep an eye on this Facebook group as we watch, and we're going to change the name within the next week. And if you're someone that wants to know a little bit more about what your soul's journey is, what maybe where you have had your intuition blocked or suppressed, we can go in and check that out. So just put intuition in the comments, and we can jump on a 20-minute call and see where that happened in the first place, like what happened way back, and let's look at, acknowledging that and discovering, where you were blocked in the first place, so that we can clear that. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next Tuesday. Mwah.